and you choose which one you want to connect to. We're going to choose grants. Click next or connect. There we go. Connecting. And then once you're connected, you'll see the MetaMask. Click on it, change your wallet. You decide that you don't use that wall more, but you'll also see your specific one. You can choose to disconnect at any time. All right, next, can go through contributing to different grants. So you'll see Basic Tech grant here. You could also search for different ones. You can click back to grants. I'm going to drop the link to yours. I can show them. You can contribute to both. Oh, actually, here it is. All right, so we can add multiple ones to our cart. Click on Add to Cart, and you'll see your cart update with 2 grants currently. So we'll click on Checkout. So we'll click on Checkout, and currently the currency that they're using on the Gitcoin platform is DAI, just because typically DAI has smaller processing fees, but since we bought ETH, we'll go with ETH. We are not doing 25 ETH. That would cost more than we bought. So let me go back here. We bought about 0.71 of ETH. Let's honestly copy that over. Maybe that's hold on here. There we go. All right. 0.71. Let's say I want to contribute 0.002. So all of them just like split our 0.023 and up both. We split that amongst the 2 of them. Right? And we could also see here that, see what your estimated match would be. This is like, well, 4.3 for tech by choice, and about 143 worth of DAI for baddies and tech. And Valerie already talked about what that matching means and, how that's calculated. And you'll also see how much your match is in its entirety. Now, you can also contribute back to the Gitcoin match pool. And what this does is you contribute to the pool that they use to contribute to the rest of the grants. And so, this estimated matching, a lot of it comes from contributors like us at this last step. Also the money that they put in as well. So you can choose 5, 10, 15, or 0%, depending on how much ETH that you have. Depending on how much ETH that you have, we want to make sure that you have enough ETH to cover all of your transactions. Let me know if there are any questions so far. Any questions in the chat? Before we go through checking out. All right, no questions so far. All right, so we'll go through the checking out. There are a number of options for checking out that you can choose. Standard, Polygon, if we were doing like DAI, or ZK Sync. I've actually never used ZK Sync. Have you guys?
No, but I was actually watching a video about this last night, and that might be the way to do it. I just got to figure out the steps because it saves you money. I think like no gas fees, something to that effect.
Really? Oh man, I want to try it, but I guess for the purposes of this video, we'll stick with standard, and maybe we can put something out about how to do it with ZK Sync after the fact. All right, so we'll go with standard, and we'll do the 5% contribution. I think we can. I think we have enough for that. We may not, but we'll see. So once we click checkout, it'll ask you not to close this tab as it does the transaction. So we'll give it like a couple minutes while it does that. Depending on how much, how much the gas fees are, how many people are on the platform at the time. Honestly, how much you're contributing. This could take up to a couple seconds to, I've seen it take like honestly an hour for some people because they were contributing quite a bit. Depending on how that's going. Also, I think the Ethereum merged, a couple days ago also messed with things a bit. So timing can totally differ depending on, what's going on there. But we'll give this a minute or two to see the day takes more than 10 seconds.
I'm telling you, those planets are in retrograde.
And they're retrograding hard. Like, I need them to relax.
I never really thought like that had effect until this week. And I'm just like, I'm going to start paying attention to these planets because never again.
I typically don't pay attention, but every time like a retrograde is happening, I feel like that's when life is literally like the most chaotic. I'm like, okay, there might be something to these planets. Gotta go. All right, thanks, Evie. Thanks for coming. And we'll send out the recording after the fact as well.
Yeah, while this is getting up and going, I do want to talk a little bit more about just Web3 funding. Gitcoin grants are a great way to do crowdsource funding because of the matching and being able to like double the money, sometimes triple, quadruple, whatever the math is mathing to. But there are other opportunities that are out there that are amazing, especially for our communities around grants and things like that from different protocols, different DAOs, and just different Web3 companies that want to grow this ecosystem. Now, in order to access a lot of this funding, we do have to know how to talk about our projects in a way that helps us get those grants and get the money. So what I sent here in the chat is a link to a grant template outline. Now, this is a template that we use at Tech by Choice because we are a nonprofit first. We are able to access a lot of grants and things like that, but we had to learn how to structure our programs and talk about them so that it made sense to the grants that we were, grants that we were applying for. And so this is the outline that we use to create our programs and apply to grants. So feel free to use this to help you talk about your projects so that you can apply for these Gitcoin grants. There is some stuff in here that is more geared towards the nonprofit space versus the Web3 space. The really cool thing about the Web3 space is people are more interested in your story and your impact, and they want to know what you're going to do with the money, right? And so if you can talk about those two things, throw in some metrics, throw in some other like high level topics about that's on this outline, you'll be in a good position to have like a template to start to apply to a number of different grants. I'm also, within that doc, there's some links to how to get up and running with Gitcoin. And there's some details around how to donate on Gitcoin. And there's some details around how to find additional Web3 grants. I dropped a link into the chat. I guess I should start like not just dropping links, but saying what the links are, whatever. That second link that I dropped, I hope it's the right thing, is actually a PDF of like 20 or so Web3 grants that you can access. These grants are amazing. They offer a number of different like ranges when it comes to their payout. So I think this is something that we all can start to leverage, make sure we're getting that money. There is a lot of different opportunities in Web3 that people can leverage to make money and support our projects. And I just wanted to make sure everyone had access to that.
I don't know what happened to my connection there.
It's okay. I'm telling you, these planets.
It's going on. This thing is still going. But I guess in the interest of time, what it would look like after the fact, the screen would change and it'll say like deletions.